again and welcome to Shed Talk, a YouTube channel that's dedicated to the keeping, breeding and exhibition of budgerigars. We also have a Facebook page. If you haven't joined the Facebook page, then do go across onto Facebook and look us up. By all means, join and comment on the Facebook page. The Facebook page, of course, is always a good place to leave your comments and suggestions. It's always nice to receive feedback from people who are watching the channel, both those positive comments and any comments around improvement. So if you do have any suggestions, please do leave a comment over there. So let's turn our attention now to what's been going on in the shed, and most of the first round youngsters are now fully weaned, and it's time to make my first assessment and move them all into the nappy flight. So that's what we're going to look at in this video. I'm going to pop all of the, or most of the first round youngsters into a show cage. For most of them, that will be their first time in a show cage. We'll do an assessment and have a look at them, and I'll make a few comments on what I think. As always, do leave a comment and give me your views of the various birds. I'm going to do them or put them up in reverse order as I look at them. So obviously starting with what I consider to be the worst of the youngsters, moving through to what I consider to be the best. But before I do that, as always, if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. It always helps. And please do subscribe if you haven't done already. And hit the bell if you want early notifications of future videos. Right, let's have a look at these youngsters. Okay, we'll start then with this cinnamon sky blue. This bird is out of my pair 6, which if you remember is the cinnamon light green cock and the yellow face cinnamon sky blue hen. This pair is going to go for a second round, despite the poor quality of this one and only first round chick. As I say, this cinnamon sky blue is a bit disappointing. I was hoping for better out of this pair, but there we go. It's only one bird out of the first round, so we'll see whether they can produce anything better in the next round. So this cinnamon sky blue then is a small all round. It's a small bird. It's got no real size about any of it. So no size in the body, no size in the shoulder, and the same can be said about its head. You can see there's very little width between the eyes, and no real depth in the mask at all. So it's really unlikely that this is going to ever improve enough to make the grade to remain in my shed. So my expectation is that this will go straight into the sales cage. Let me know what you think. It's clearly not a bird of any quality whatsoever from my point of view, but who knows. It would certainly from a pet point of view, it's quite a pretty looking little bird, so it would make someone a nice pet. There we are. That's the sky blue cinnamon. Let's hope for better in this pair's second round. Here we go then. This is a normal dark green, and this bird is out of my pair 3, which is a cobalt cockbird with a cinnamon grey green hen. This was a pairing that I liked and actually had high hopes for. So a little disappointed with what they have produced so far. They are currently on their second round, so hopefully there'll be some better birds in that second round. Like I say, this bird then is not the best in terms of size and lacks a fair bit of shoulder and head. It does have a fairly good mask, so quite long, quite a bit of depth to it, as you can see. The father was a bit slow in developing, so it may be that this bird also will be a bit slow and may develop into something a bit better, but at the moment I'd suggest this would only be kept as a stock bird, and even then only if there's nothing better in round 2. So could it go on to be in next year breeding team? I'm a bit doubtful, but who knows. If it does begin to look a little bit better as it gets a bit older, begin to develop a little bit, then maybe. But I'm a bit doubtful. So that's the normal dark green. Well, here we go then. This is a normal light green, and this bird is also out of my pair 3, that cobalt cock and cinnamon grey that I had, sorry, cinnamon grey green hen that I had quite high hopes for. And yeah, again, a little bit disappointing, isn't it? There was not a lot to choose between this bird and the dark green. I put it in this order mainly because this bird, so this normal light green, is a little bit younger than the dark green, and therefore a little bit behind in the development. And so it might actually, you know, I mean, it's not a massive difference, but given that they're almost identical at the moment, this bird may have a little bit more to it. Again, not the best in terms of size and lacks a fair bit of shoulder and head. Once again, it does have a fairly good mask and quite a bit of depth to it. So if it does improve, that might be one of the features that would we could be looking for in terms of breeding. Like I said previously for the last bird, Dad was a bit slow in developing, so this bird may develop and improve those features that it currently lacks. Once again, I suggest this would only be kept as a stock bird, and only then if there's nothing better off this pair in round 2. So there we go. A normal light green, probably not going to be a keeper. So time now to move on to some of the better birds. So like I say, first 3 really disappointing. We're now turning our attention to some of the ones that that are reasonable from my point of view, for my shed, as I always say. First of these is this Opaline cinnamon yellow-faced grey. This bird is out of my pair 5, which is a cinnamon opaline grey cock and a cinnamon grey-green hen. This pairing has produced 2 birds in the first round, both of which are likely to be keepers for me, and this one is the lesser of the 2. So I'm reasonably pleased with this. Overall, she's a little bit smaller than her sibling, but still a good sized bird and a little bit younger, so may be just a little tiny bit behind. She has a reasonable size body and quite good shoulders on her. She looks better when she's actually resting a bit. So certainly when she's sat on the cage floor, like most youngsters, they always look better than they do when they first get on the perch. I do like her head, plenty of width between the eyes, and looks like she got some directional feathering, and going to develop some quite good blow over the top. So also reasonable across the top of the head. So yeah, so from the sort of just above the top of the cere to round right across over the top of the head and round the back. So quite a bit of depth behind the eye. Finally, as always with opalines, she does look as if she's quite clean at the moment, so hopefully when she molts out she'll keep that. And I think this will make a really good stock hen, and it may even develop into something that I could put into a show cage. So yeah, quite pleased with this young opaline hen. So here's the next one, this normal mauve. This bird is out of my pair 3, the cobalt cock and the cinnamon green hen. We've already seen 2 of the siblings. They were quite disappointing, and like I said, I was hoping better for this pair. So this is from that first round 1 nest. This is by far the best of the birds, and so yeah, the best of the 3. He's got a reasonable size, and I really do like the style of this bird when he sits on the perch. Has a real nice style about him and shows himself really well, which is always good. Head is not as good as I'd like, but it's showing some width between the eyes and some directional feathering that we know Dad has. If you have a look at Dad, he's got some quite nice face on him. And this bird also has a reasonable size mask for his age. If he does develop like Dad did, if he is a slow developer like Dad, then he will almost certainly be a keeper, and is definitely one that I want to keep an eye on and want to watch. Probably going to just be a stock bird, but given his style and the way he sits on the perch and shows himself off, it is possible that he could make the show team. So yeah, this will be one that we'll keep an eye on, and maybe have a look at him in about 3 months, so you can see how he's got on and compare him with what he looks like at the moment. So this normal mauve, yeah, quite a nice bird, and if I get some more like him or better than him in the second round off this pair 3, would be very pleasing. And the final bird we're going to look at is this Opaline grey-green, and this is by far the best bird of the first round so far. This bird is out of the pair 5, which is the cinnamon opaline grey cock and the cinnamon grey-green hen. We've already looked at the first of the 2 siblings that this pair produced in their first round, which was the yellow face opaline grey. And this is the better of those 2 birds at the moment. Like I did say though, the other one is a little bit younger, so it may still have a bit more development. Overall, this is a bit larger than the other one, but generally both of the birds are quite large. This bird is already bigger than Mum, and is currently, only a little bit smaller than her Dad. And when I look at her in the nest box and in the nappy cage, she's one of those birds that just stands out as being above most of the others. She's got a reasonable sized body, nice shoulders on her, so going to be a nice stocky looking hen, and I like her. She's got plenty of head and width between the eyes. Looks like she's beginning to develop some of that directional feathering that we're already looking for, and looks as if she's going to have some quite nice blow for a head. And just like her sibling, nice when you look at her over the top of the head and behind the eye. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with this bird. Like the sibling, it's always nice to get an opaline that looks very clean, and she does look clean at the moment. Being a hen, I think she's definitely going to be a keeper and could be a good stock bird, and may even develop into a bird that I can put out to 1 or 2 shows. So there we go, that's the last of them and the best of them. Let me know what you think about the order that I've put them in. You may well feel that the sister of this bird is better than the mauve. I'm an hour myself about that. But that's all of them. Just all we've got to do now is get these birds into the nappy flight. Well, that's all of the youngsters back in the flight. I hope you enjoyed that very quick look at those first 6 of the of round 1. Like I said before, if you let me know what you think about the order that I've put them in, and if there's any of those birds that have caught your eye, and if you might think my assessment is reasonable, leave a comment either in the video or of course across on the Facebook page. I'll leave you with a few shots of them in the nappy fight, but until the next time, please do stay safe and enjoy your birds.